Are you sitting comfortably? Are you sitting comfortably? Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin.
And now for something completely different.
What is happening, Dreamwalkers? Thanks for joining me for episode 9 of Decoding My Dreams. Hope everyone's having a wild and good week. I don't know where the time is going. This week has just disappeared, much like last week. I don't know if it's just the winter blahs and repetition just making time disappear, or if the powers that be are messing with timelines and disappearing days from right out underneath us. I don't know. It's weird. Time's moving fast though, so I hope you're able to find a little time to enjoy and smell the roses, as it were. It's been a little bit intense lately. I've had the Wiggins a little more than usual the last few days. I know part of that is I feel like I've been putting myself out there a little too much in the social media space, and I feel like whenever I've been putting myself out there, sometimes my demon really likes to creep up and try to push me back into a quiet little soundproof box. But, in the spirit of therapy, this is therapy for me, and I will push through. I know this is a bit of a self-indulgent project talking about my dreams, but I think, at least for me, it may serve some sort of long-term value, and hope you all who are listening in can learn something from your own dreams or your own dream analysis, or maybe there's some other strange little nugget that you're able to pull out of this, but thanks for tuning in nonetheless. As I mentioned, the energies continue to be intense. There was, I believe, 5 or 6 M-class sun flares that popped off over the last day and a half or so. That is incoming, so we'll be getting hit with another geomagnetic storm shortly. Maybe we'll get to see some northern lights on this one. We'll see. So that's what's up. Hope you're riding the storms all right. Just wanted to circle back to one thing from my last session. I mentioned, sort of more in passing than anything, but a flashing light phenomenon where I had a lamp in my TV room that just started flashing, pulsing at the same time I had figured out a dream vision. And I certainly took notice of it because the flashing light was very much like a highlighter or like a game show, a casino, whoop, 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 pay attention, look at this. But it was really weird because I went online a little bit shortly later, and I was checking out, there's a website I go to for the Schumann frequency update to see sort of what's popping off that way. And he's been posting these videos about the fog. So you may have heard a lot of people are talking about a fog that they think is a little more unusual or nefarious than your typical fogs, and people have been posting in fog videos from all over the world. He started keeping a map of the fog spots. But now, in addition, he started tracking flashing light phenomenon, and people are posting strange videos from all over the world of random lights flashing in stores, in parking lots, outside of houses, outside of restaurants. And some of them are actually like quite bizarre. Like you'd almost wonder, is this what was that movie, Maximum Overdrive, or like somehow the aliens have invaded our electronics. It's fun. Maybe these flashing lights, maybe that's something that's just all quite normal and people don't usually take note of it. But it's a funny little rabbit hole to see all these different lights that people are recording flashing lately. Whether or not it's a thing, I don't know, but I saw it here, and interesting nonetheless. As for dreams, the last few days have been pretty mundane. I've still been dreaming quite actively, but it's been my almost what I would call default dreams. There's a few certain dreams that I seem to have almost every day, if not every day. And one of these is the packing dream. Maybe you've had it. The venue varies. Sometimes it's a hotel, a motel, a campground, a tent. Sometimes I'm staying at a friend's apartment, condo, cottage. It's never a place that I recognize or I'm familiar with, and there always seems to be an urgency to like pack up and get out. So in the case of a hotel, it's usually because I've long passed my checkout time. If it's a friend's place, I was supposed to have been out days ago. If it's a student house, I should have moved out, last year or something like that. So there's this common theme of, I guess maybe overstaying my welcome, or sometimes it's even I'm being pushed out by some sort of an evil, a monster, or something not very nice. So a lot of different variables in that, but the part that is always the trick is I always find myself packing some sort of a bag, suitcase, backpack, and there's always more, I'll throw a sweater, a hoodie in there, and then I remember, but I need some pants, or I need some socks, or like there's just always more things that I remember that I have to make another trip for, and it seems like that's what bogs down the dream, because I'll either wake up or it'll just move on to a different dream, or I'm not sure. So tends to be a bit of a breakdown at the end, I guess, over the overpacking maybe. And I mean that speaks to a real life scenario. I'm not a light packer. I try to think through every emergency scenario, and if it rains, I'm going to need an extra sweater, and this, that, the other thing. And maybe that's what it's speaking to, is the overthinking, over-planning. Maybe the lesson is just to learn to throw a couple things in the bag and just go for it and not overthink it. But it is interesting that I'm never familiar with the locations that I'm trying to get out of. Definitely, I've been long wanting to move out of my house where I live now, but it's certainly an overwhelming task with just having to pack everything and move everything, and probably be a good idea to start downsizing and learning to let things go, so that it is easier to pack up and run. Lots to think about there. Maybe if I start shedding a little more light on this one, it might ease up a little bit, because I'm really getting banged over the head with this packing dream. And maybe it's way more metaphorical. Maybe what's being packed up is a lot of emotions, fears, things from the past, and I keep wanting to bring them forward with me, but it's time to let those things go too, and move on to a brave new future. So that's the 411 on the packing dream, a little bit. So the one that I did recall this morning, that it's a little more mundane, but it stood out. It stuck with me all day, so it figured it was worth talking a little bit about and unpacking a little bit. In the dream, I was walking through a park on my own, came across some long grass, and I woke up a grizzly bear, a brown bear, a large male grizzly brown bear. That's kind of a scary thing. I don't know if you've ever come across a bear in the woods. I've definitely come across some black bears a few times wandering in the bush. I feel like for my own emotional comfort, a brown bear, we don't have them here where I live, but they're definitely more of a predator. They're more, in my perception, likely to want to attack. Black bears tend to be a little more harmless for the most part, as long as you're not kind of in between mama and the cubs. Still, I don't really want to surprise a black bear in the woods, but I'm definitely more afraid of coming across a male moose in the woods, and especially in rut season. That's pretty scary. But so back to the dream. Coming down the trail, minding my own business, walking through the park, nice sunny day. I hit the long grass, and there's this big brown bear sleeping in the grass, and now I've woken him up. He puts his head up, and he's quite perturbed at this point. He rears up on his hind legs. He makes a growl, and now I'm in survival mode, and I need to make some decisions. I'm immediately backing off, walking back up the path the way that I came. But I don't know what's going to happen, because if he starts running, what am I going to do? I'm not going to outrun this bear. I've got nowhere that I can get away from him. So my fear level is significantly rising. So I just continue to back off. I'm not making eye contact with him, but in my dream I have a very strong intention or impression that I'm trying to send him telepathic thoughts. I'm trying to let him, I'm using a lot of mental energy and pushing images that I'm not a threat. Sorry for disrupting him. Please don't eat me. And I think at that point I realized that his growl was kind of more of a, you just woke me up and I'm kind of annoyed, as opposed to, oh good, here's lunch. And he went back down on 4 legs and wandered off down the trail. So I quickly started surveying the park and the trails and the paths, and trying to plan my route to get away from him as quickly as possible. And from there, the park unfolded to a park that I actually do know, that I've spent a lot of time in, that I'm pretty comfortable in. And the dream moved on from there. I didn't get eaten or attacked. So it's what's going on here? Confronting fear, perhaps. As I mentioned earlier, putting myself out there, that's a big fear I have, I guess. And confronting fear, not falling or panicking in the face of fears, but staying calm, cool, collected. Work your way through it. Use your will and intent to get yourself through the trouble unscathed. Maybe that's the lesson. Maybe it was just a sleepy bear. I don't know.
I won't be sleeping.
Whoops. Speaking of sleeping. So yeah, I guess that's all I have for this session. I'm not sure what the best length for these is. The first few were kind of 10-15 minutes. Lately they've been dragging on more towards 20 plus, which might be a little long for people to sit through. Yeah, it seems like once I get rolling though, it doesn't take too long to hit the 20-minute mark. So yep, that's it for now. Keep dreaming, have fun, be nice to people, and talk again soon. Thanks.